Howdy, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be ranking and reviewing the Han 3.0 Packer by Prosthesisman. Like always, I'll be ranking this prosthetic based off of 5 different criteria. The first one's going to be looks and realism. Will this look natural if I wear this when I'm in the shower? Next up is going to be comfort and packability. Will I be able to wear this without it looking or feeling like a boner? Next up is going to be squishiness. How soft is this prosthetic and will it pass a grab test? Next is going to be price. Will I be broke if I buy this prosthetic? Yes or no? And then finally, my overall ranking and would I recommend this to people? Something I'd like to point out for full transparency's sake is while I did buy these prosthetics with my own money, I did receive a discount for them for this review, so please keep that in mind when you're watching this video. I will be giving my own honest opinion of these prosthetics, but just for transparency's sake, I wanted to let you know. Something else is that Prosthesisman actually gave me a discount code to give to my viewers. So for the first 100 people who use the discount code STPsRS300, you'll get $300 Hong Kong dollars off any orders that are over $1,500 Hong Kong. So this is around, I believe, $38 USD per $200 USD on average. This code will only be valid for the first 100 users, and it's only going to be valid from August 1st to November 30th, 2025. So please keep that in mind if you're planning on purchasing something from Prosthesisman. Before we get started, I'd like to point out that what you're about to see is a prosthetic that looks like a penis. If this bothers you in any way, please feel free to click off. Thank you for watching as long as you did, and have a good one. All right, here is the Han 3.0 Packer. Little wraparound. The size specs on this are total length is 11.5 centimeters or 4.52 inches. The penis length is going to be 10 centimeters or 3.93 inches. The diameter is going to be 3 centimeters or 1.18 inches. The overall weight of this is about 177 grams or about 6.24 ounces. The cost of this is $2,146 Hong Kong. In USD, that's about $273, and there's 5 color options with the option to pay extra for a custom colorization. This one is an SO4, and it's in their new premium silicone. No longer are they selling their basic silicone. For pricing tier, because this is their new premium silicone and it's a little more expensive than it used to be, it's going to land in the Think Again category. For a Packer, this is really expensive, but it's because of the more premium features like 3D balls and skin. This also has to do with the fact of them, again, using that more premium silicone formulation. I'd also like to point out that this isn't the most expensive Packer I've seen so far. How I received the prosthetic is in black plastic wrap, was inside a clear plastic wrap branded box, and inside of that was each individually sealed prosthetic, a storage bag, and some reading material. Like I mentioned in my Han STP video, please read the reading material. Don't be illiterate because there's some good information on there. Overall, I'm a big fan of how Prosthesisman does their packaging. With the blacked out plastic, it helps hide what's inside the in the box, and using a box also helps protect what's inside while also hiding what it is. For the production time on this, it took about 39 days from ordering to shipping to me, and from shipping to getting to me, it took about the same amount of time, and that just has more to do with USPS. Something I'd like to point out real quick is you may notice that I didn't get hair on this one like I did in the previous one with my Han STP. The reason being that I wasn't the biggest fan of Prosthesisman's hair just because it kind of felt coarse, and also the little lace part that came up here couldn't really be adhered down. You weren't supposed to put any adhesive on that lace. One of the first things I noticed about the Han Packer is that it's actually smaller than the STP. If you look at the length and just the girth, they're apparently supposed to both be casted, so I'm wondering if it's the same person and they just had them get semi-erect for this one versus this one. Also, if you look at the tips, you can see they're ever so slightly different in their molding, which leads me to believe that they are two separate castings. The next thing I want to point out is between their old silicone formula of the Han and their new one, these are both in SO4, but the coloration looks a lot different. And the reason being that their older silicone had a yellow tint to it, and this one has more of a neutral tint to it, which I'm sad to see because I really liked having more yellow tinted silicone because I just have a lot of yellow undertones in my skin. The new silicone is also a lot more matte than it was previously, which is one of the issues that I had with this. And it also seems to be more durable because I didn't notice any peeling or the top layer coming off like I did with their old silicone. The next thing I noticed about this is, unlike their old prosthetic that I have, this one doesn't have a smell like the other one did. It doesn't smell kind of meaty like that one did. I don't know if it's how they're doing the silicone or if it's because it's more durable. I'm not quite sure, but I just know that it doesn't have that smell anymore, which I'm grateful for. If you look at the back of this, it actually does have a recess in here for any bottom growth, and the back of this has a tab already pre-built in for the easy tape. I personally didn't use their easy tape method because I have sensitive skin and I have to be careful with what I put on it. The molding on this looks really good overall. It has really great skin detail. If you can kind of see, it has that movable 3D foreskin that they always talk about. Super thin. It does feel more sturdy than their previous formula, but I would still be careful with overstretching this because if you stretch it this far out, it would probably rip. But it does feel more sturdy than the old formula. The balls over here are 3D. They're liquid filled and have very small balls inside of them. If you can kind of see, that's how small they are in comparison. I do think they could probably get away with using larger balls in these, especially because there's liquid filled, so they could move around easier. This does have very nice painting on it. The head is painted, the balls have some painting on them, there's some veins on here. It looks really good overall. Has very nice skin detail because it's a real life casting. Overall, I just really like the look of the Han. I will say that even though I really do like the look of the Han, still, I do wish that it had the same coloration as their previous silicone because to me that just looked more realistic with the warmer undertones, and I feel it matched me better. For looks tier, I'm going to be putting this is literally a penis tier. The new formula fixes the problem of their older silicone being shiny, which is great if that bothered you having to powder it. It also is a bit more sturdy, so I haven't noticed any peeling like I did on the last one. I do think I still prefer the old coloration and painting style of their prosthetics personally, just because I feel it matched my skin tone better. But if you found a good color match with these and maybe added some hair to hide the seam, I could really see you being able to use this in a shower situation. For packing with this, I didn't use their easy tape method like I mentioned. I instead just used my STP underwear from Cake Bandit because to me that's the most comfortable way of packing. And I found that this packs really well because it's so soft. The shaft itself is super soft and the balls being liquid filled, everything can kind of move down and out of the way, so it makes a good bulge and it doesn't feel overwhelming. It's also super comfortable because everything is very soft on this, like I had mentioned. I will point out that the base from about here this way is a bit firmer silicone than the rest of it, and I think that's just to give it something to help stick to you. So just keep that in mind, that while this is super soft, the base that's actually going to be touching you is going to be a bit firmer. I also think something that helps the Han with packing, other than its smaller size, is the way that it's molded here on the balls is there's a recess for the shaft to actually lay in between. If I had to say one complaint about packing with this, it would have to be the fact that these liquid-filled balls always make me a little bit nervous that something's going to pop and then there's going to be a mess in my pants. But luckily, so far, I haven't noticed any issues, no leaking, no popping whatsoever, so that's always a good thing. The silicone on this does have a slight bit of tack to it, but it's not a very big issue, and on the back, I feel no tack. I think it's because of that easy tape installation method that it helps make it not feel sticky against you. Like I had mentioned, because of the fact that there's a recess here and the way it's molded wants to naturally point down, I would be careful when trying to pack up or to the side. I feel like the side would be okay, but not up, because you might cause stress on this part right here, and it might cause it to have unnecessary wear and tear. For packing with this, I'm going to be putting this into Daily Driver. It makes a pretty decent bulge and compresses well since the silicone is super soft. This might not be for someone who wants a larger bulge. If you want something larger but like the look of the Han, you could get away with doing the STP since it is larger and does have that firm core rod. Like I've been mentioning, this is a very soft prosthetic. If you look at that, super soft. It feels very realistic to me because it has this very thin, movable skin here, and then it has a slightly firmer core on the inside of here. The skin itself doesn't retract in any way, and it stops about here and goes down to the base here, if you can see. And then, again, like I mentioned, the balls are liquid filled, which makes them very, very soft. I don't think the balls feel as realistic as the shaft, especially because the balls are very tiny in here. But I think the shaft itself and everything all together would definitely pass a grab test. For my squishiness ranking, this is going into Jello tier. Overall, the shaft and balls are super, super soft, especially since the balls are liquid filled. And I do think this would pass a grab test in pants. Something I would like to point out again is that the base of the prosthetic that actually will be sitting against you is going to be firmer than the rest of the prosthetic. So please keep that in mind if you're a little more sensitive to the density and feel of silicone against you. So, what did I think about the Han 3.0 packer? Well, I really love the look of the Han. Even with the STP, I just love a fully uncut head. I think it looks really aesthetically pleasing to me. It looks very realistic too. Again, it has very good skin detailing. I feel like they captured it very well. I also think that this is a super comfortable packer, and I could see using it every day because it is a smaller one. My only real complaints about this are with the coloration of it, because I was just so happy with the yellow undertones of their old formula. If they were able to get back to that kind of look, I would definitely want to get it in that color instead. But overall, I do think that this is a really good prosthetic. I'm also really happy that they changed the silicone formula to be more durable, because now I haven't noticed any peeling on this like I did in my previous one. And also, again, there's no weird meaty smell. For my overall ranking, I would put this in would recommend. This would be best suited for someone who wants a super soft and realistic looking prosthetic. This would also be good if you enjoy using adhesives to stick prosthetics to yourself instead of using a harness. Personally, I really enjoy this prosthetic and will continue to use it. I don't think this is going to be for someone who wants to pack larger. It would be more for someone who likes to pack a bit smaller and is okay with a higher price tag. So that was my review of the Han 3.0 Packer by Prosthesisman. I hope you found this video informative, entertaining. I hope it gave you some insight on this prosthetic. If you have any questions about this prosthetic or any others I've reviewed in the past, please let me know. Have a good one.